It's now time for the Coaches Show on Newstalk 1250 KBRF and KBRFradio.com, presented by the Viking Cafe and brought to you by the Minnesota Motor Company, Lake Region Healthcare, Nelson Auto Center, Quality Toyota, and by Running Stitches. Now for the Coaches Show presented by the Viking Cafe, here's Craig Olson.
And we're going to be talking a lot of basketball, a lot of hockey, a little bit of swimming today over the next hour and a half. And we're glad that you're here with us on our Coaches Show presented by the Viking Cafe. Now, every week, the Viking Cafe gives away a $25 gift certificate. And if you want to be eligible for that, well, sometime during the show, just text to 321-1926 the keyword Viking, okay? Viking. 321-1926, and we'll have a winner later in the program on that $25 gift certificate from the Viking Cafe. And boy, you can't go wrong at the Viking. I'm still enjoying savoring the bacon that I just finished. I had to rush to finish before the show started. I mean, either I'm getting slow or I just was savoring it so much I lost track of the time. Either way, enjoyable at the Viking. They do a great job. We're going to welcome Matt Johnson, the head coach of the Otter Boys basketball team. Matt got home late last night, I'm sure, because they were in Brainerd taking on the Warriors. So welcome to the season, Matt. You get a postponement to start the season with the Moorhead football team going so deep they had to reschedule your first game. And then you got back-to-back games, one at home and then one on the road. Tough way to start the season.
Yeah, ready, set, go. And it's a little bit of a weird year schedule-wise, where Thanksgiving falls the way Christmas break falls with New Year's, and so scheduling really became a little bit tricky. And Brainerd needed to move a game, so yeah, we ended up with back-to-back games to start the season, which is far from ideal. You know, after game one, you see 6,000 things that you'd like to spend some time in practice on, and you barely get to talk about them. And you head to game two, and we talked with our guys last night. You know, we run a gauntlet. There's not one game on our schedule that I look at and go, that night will be that'll be not one. 26 games and 26 grinders, where you have to put together 36 minutes of really good basketball, to be in it at the end, and then you hope you can make the right plays. And so to start with, Wilmer, who really is the Breakdown Publications, which is kind of the big coach's manual for the year. They have Wilmer as the second-ranked team in our section. Avery Christensen's a really good basketball player going to Northern State. We struggled with him, and then you go to Brainerd, and they're always a really skilled team. They really put pressure on you to guard, and they shoot it really well from all five spots. And so really we ran into a couple of teams that were really good, and I thought for us, being pretty inexperienced, we had really good moments and moments where you just will learn from and get better from.
Let's talk about Wilmer for a minute. 83-72 was the final, but you were up 11 at halftime, 47-36. You had to be really excited about that. I mean, you got one senior coming back and some real varsity inexperience, and to see them come out of the gates like that, that's kind of exciting.
Yeah, really, it's a group we're really excited about. I love go to Service Food, and I'm gonna get the question, how are we, Coach? Well, I don't know yet. I know I love coaching them. I know that they're a group that shows up every day, work really hard. They play really well together. They love to compete, and we're far from perfect, but it's a group that I think people really enjoy watching, and the growth will be exponential. There's some really talented kids there. We've shot the ball really well. In that game, I think we were 14 for 31 from three. And I would say 5 of those came in the last, the misses came in the last 2 minutes, somewhat desperation. So really shooting at a 50% clip from three on pretty good volume is a really nice way to start. Nolan Felstool is a kid who shot it really well so far and is a terrific shooter, a really high-end shooter, gets the ball off quick, doesn't need a lot of space. So some really good things there in that Wilmer game, and I thought defensively we're really solid in the first half. Second half, I thought we had some moments of solid, but really maybe game one fatigue, understanding the moment, right? As inexperienced kids, when they make a couple shots, our possession becomes really important. It's not necessarily try to throw a haymaker back, and those are things we'll learn. Guys, right, figuring out what their role is with this group. It's a group that's played together a lot growing up, whether it's ninth grade, JV. Really we've added Micah to that mix with them. That's really the big change, and so they've played together, but it's a little different. The speed of the varsity game, we've turned it over too much, and a lot of it is a pass that you could get away with in ninth grade or at the JV level. You can't get away because now instead of the kid being 6'1", he's 6'4", and he's a really good athlete, so he's going to get a hand on that, and you have to, like PJ Fleckisms, right? But you have to fail. You got to make mistakes because that's how you learn, right?
Sure.
And that's part of the process, and it's not always enjoyable, but that's what learning is, and we have kids that'll be really coachable and learn through those mistakes.
I talked to a couple of people who were at the game, and they said, yeah, that Christensen kid from Wilmer took control in the second half, and he finished with a double-double, 36 points, 10 rebounds. What makes him so good and so tough to guard?
He's an elite-level shooter, but really it's the fact that he can take contact on the drive. So he had 2 or 3 buckets and ones that weren't just layups where he gets hit on the wrist. It was he goes through your body at 12 feet and is off balance and can still find a way to get it up on the rim. And those are just big boy plays, right? Those are next level plays. I didn't think we did a great job of understanding how when he got rolling, that it's going to take more than one defender to stop him. I didn't think we were a great help defensive team, which is something we've always prided ourselves on. And so it's going to take more than one body to slow the roll of an elite level scorer. And he's a kid who will probably average close to 30. He's going to take 20, 25 shots a night. But I was actually impressed that, he had his double-double. I think he had 6 or 7 assists, too.
Yep.
So when we did try to load to him, I thought he did a nice job of putting kids in a spot to get easy buckets. And, right, that's the sign of a really good basketball player. And, it'll be fun to go with a little bit different game plan the next time we see him and get better.
Hey, that's one of the things I love about the Central Lakes Conference. You play home and home. And it's always been fun to me through the years to see, okay, how are we going to adjust, in this case, after our first time around and a loss? What are we going to do different to slow Avery Christensen down, if that's possible? Or, what other ways can we turn it around and win the next meeting between these two teams? And I know that's part of the joy of coaching, too, is figuring that stuff out, Matt, and you're going to go into that rematch, whatever the date is, with the more experienced varsity team, and they'll be kind of remembering, hey, they beat us at home that opening night, and we should have played better. So that's kind of fun about this conference.
It is. Ryan Johnson, or my assistant, loves to say we're playing chess, not checkers, and the season is a chess match.
Yep.
Of what do we need to install, what do we need to improve at, what do we need to do for the next game or the next few games or for the end game, right, of playoffs. And it's really, really fun to play that game. We have with the ability to watch film through Huddle and the things we have access to statistically, what we can analyze and really look at. It's really there's a lot there that you can come out with.
Yeah.
And we have kids that will enjoy that process too. So yeah, it's fun to think about the next time we get to see them.
You may even get to see them 3 times. We'll see.
Potentially.
See how that plays out. But you had 4 guys in double digits that night. Trenton Drilliard had a big night for you, 24 points, and he wound up with 8 rebounds, close to a double-double for you there. And then he had 6 deflections, which is fun. And I know you guys pride yourselves a lot in deflection, steals, taking charges. You took like 5 charges, I think, that night.
Yeah.
So is that going to be kind of both? Are we going to see that balanced type of an offensive attack and as an aggressive turnover forcing defensive team, kind of what we're going to be looking at here?
Yeah, I think defensively we have an athletic crew that I think we feel can be really disruptive. Between Micah on the ball, Pee Wee's a really talented on-ball defender, really active hands. Trenton anticipates well, is bouncy, has a knack for steals. Nolan Fellstool, Jacob Jentz, Cam Wiedrick is a senior for us that's done a terrific job. He's a really really athletic kid, great on-ball defender. So that's a kid we're excited about. Kellen Funkhauser's given us some really good minutes, and none of those guys I'm talking about are 6'7", right? We're not a huge team, but we are athletic. They anticipate well. They play hard. So yeah, disruptive defensively. Hopefully creating some offense for us. And on that end, yeah, Trenton had a really nice night scoring the ball. Shot it well early, which really got him going. But really, his strength is his ability to put the ball on the deck and attack the rim. Really athletic kid, and he's really wired to get a bucket. Some guys have that gift and that mentality of attack, and he's one of those guys, pretty relentless. And we'll lean heavily on him for scoring. But yeah, between him, like I said, Nolan shot it really well. Pee Wee's a pretty gifted scorer, can do it from all three levels, shoots it well, attacks well. He's really more of a point guard. He really is a creator. I think he had 7 assists the Wilmer night, and does a really nice job really creating offense for us. And then Micah as a returner, hasn't shot it the best through 2 games, but a kid that we'll rely on heavily for a lot of those points and that production too. Gifted kid that's kind of really settling into his new role, really as our leader and returner, and he's doing a really nice job of leading the troops.
Yeah, I misspoke earlier. I said the only senior. He's the only returning starter. Yep. You have more than him as seniors.
Yep. Yeah, and then Isaac Mock and Micaiah Abramson, another couple great kids in our program that along the way will help us keep improving and getting better.
So you come off that tough loss and hit the road to Brainerd and have to play a Warriors team. Like you said, they're always competitive, and it's always hard to win there. It's always a competitive game there. Nolan Fellstool showed again the shooting ability, 17 points, I think, to lead you last night. But I loved what you said after the game, that you thought that you saw a lot of good things, a lot of opportunities to take away from that game, where you will be able to have some pretty good practices moving forward, teaching moments coming out of what they experienced. And that helps. Once you get the games going and you can show them what's going on, it's a lot easier, isn't it?
Yeah, I've referred to them as data points, right? We need a data point to know where we're starting. We need to know what we're good at, what we're not. We can think we know in practice, but really you have a pretty limited idea compared to a game night. And I thought that some really, really good things for us. And then, our compete level is really high, and that gives us a chance. There's a point in the Brainerd game where one of our assistants on the bench said, we're down 8. And I said, yeah. He goes, I thought we were down 25. Like it was just, we're competing the ball, but the ball just didn't go in. The other team kind of got rolling, but it's an 8-point game because of our compete level, right? Because we are relentless and we're able to get a deflection for a steal that kind of stems the flow a little bit, right? That pulls us back into it. And so the pieces are there, right? And for us, we got to do a better job of coaching them defensively in transition and some of our help stuff. And then offensively, we've got to give them a little bit more direction. I thought the ball got really stagnant, and some of that is we're not right now. We're playing 6 guys a ton of minutes. Kellen, Eli Fullhart have been in there a little bit too, but really our top 6 guys have played significant minutes, and that second half becomes where we struggle to score a little bit, and fatigue getting into season form will certainly help that. I think that's been a big part of.
Sure.
We haven't shot it as well in the second half. We haven't taken care of it as well. High turnover numbers, both games, and a lot of it has happened in the second half. It's not that complicated to figure out why that happened. So we've got to do a better job getting them in shape and getting them put them in spots to be successful, right? And there's with guards like Micah and Pee Wee. There's some pretty simple things we can do to try to create offense and some easier looks.
I think it'll be a fun season. Yeah, last
Can't
night's
wait.
final was 64-54. Brainerd with the win there. Otters are at Sartell Tuesday, and then DL at home on Friday. And DL's a conference team now.
Yeah, and so is Sartell.
Sartell is too,
Sartell
yep.
will be they're the section favorite. They return pretty much everybody from a pretty solid team coming down from the 4A level, so they weren't in our section. But that'll be a tough one at Sartell, and then the DL night at Roosevelt. There's some fun stuff going on with a whiteout, so it will be. In fact, I think we're even wearing our white uniforms, our road uniforms at home for the whiteout at Roosevelt. Got Minnesota Motor and Pemberton are helping supply some white T-shirts for fans.
Awesome.
To the, I think the number's first 500 people in there. So some pretty fun stuff coming on Friday. I don't think there's a lot of other Otter events on Friday night, so I think it'll be a packed house.
Yeah.
Really fun environment.
I'm curious to see what that looks like on the video stream with all that white. Could be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, Matt, thanks for coming in, and we appreciate your attendance throughout the season. I know you got a big tournament going on over at
I've got an
Kennedy today.
8:30 game to get to over at the Gold Gym for some sixth graders, so I'm excited. Backcourt tournament in town today,
All right.
so it should be a lot of fun, a lot of basketball.
Keep the whistle in your pocket. Let them play. Okay.
I'm coaching today.
Oh, you're not
I'm
reffing
coaching.
today.
I'm an emergency ref if needed. But
Okay.
I get to coach some sixth graders and some eighth graders today. So be fun.
Awesome. Hey, it's what he does, folks.
It's
Coach. All right.
Spend a little bit of time doing that.
Matt Johnson, head coach of the Otter Boys basketball team. We're going to shift gears, go to the ice here, talk with Mike Donahue on the other side of the break. Running Stitches Embroidery would like to present you with a nice hat.
Very cool. Thank you.
Right.
Appreciate it.
Wear it in good health.
I will do that.
All right. We'll take a timeout. Remember to text Viking to 321-1926 for your chance to win a $25 gift certificate from the Viking Cafe. And we'll be right back with more on the Coaches Show presented by the Viking Cafe.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
The 2025 model year closeout pricing has arrived at Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls. They have just a handful of new 2025 Chevy and Buick vehicles remaining, and all of them are at their lowest prices of the year. From the Chevy Blazer to the Buick Enclave, you won't want to miss out on these great deals. Contact the sales team for more information.
Minnesota Motor.
South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Lake Region Healthcare knows what all coaches know. It takes tons of teamwork, great amounts of grit, and heaps of hustle to triumph. Lake Region Healthcare, supporting and celebrating our high school athletes.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls is proud to sponsor area athletics. Nelson Auto knows the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls.
Running Stitches Embroidery in Fergus Falls is West Central Minnesota's leader in high-quality screen printing and custom embroidery. Whether you're looking for a one-of-a-kind custom job or need to outfit the entire team, Running Stitches Embroidery will be there when you need them.
What's your number?
I drove 60 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota. I drove 45 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
Welcome back. Mike Donahue's here, the head coach of the Otter Boys hockey team. They had a couple of games this week and a 3-game week coming up this week. And you guys don't waste any time, Mike. Once the schedule starts, I mean, they come fast, don't they?
Well, I was just talking to Matt when he left and looking at the way their start came. Theirs was a little faster than ours. I told him, I said, we were lucky this year. We had our couple weeks of practice, a game. Thanksgiving week, we were able to have a whole week of practice minus that Thursday for Thanksgiving, and then a game, and then it kind of hit us in the face, kind of like winter did.
Yeah, That did. You're right. It's going to be a long winter with all that snow already, right? But I know Josh Scharnberg and the Otter Nordic ski team, they're pretty excited about all the snow. I know that, but and they deserve that after some of the previous years. Well, let's talk about this past week. And you played a St. Cloud Crush team pretty competitively. Just the goals were hard to come by that night, but they won the game 3-1, but a good battle.
Yeah, it was. St. Cloud, they've got a lot of young guys, a lot of skill down there. They've got some good size. They've been playing really good hockey. So going in there, we didn't score any goals against Minneapolis. I think we didn't even get 10 shots on net that game. And, Minneapolis, they came at us. They pressured us. They forced you into trying to make some decisions. And we allowed them a little bit to do that. So you give them credit, but there's things you need to look in the mirror and try to correct. And we had a couple days to do that before our St. Cloud game. And, we were able to put one goal in, but still trying to find some offense, I think. And we knew coming into the season after losing our top line of seniors of scorers with Aiden Shakey and Michael Schmidt and Adam Kennedy, and got Jack Weldy on the back end. And that's a lot of points to lose. And a lot of responsibilities for some of these guys that weren't the guy. It can be a big burden to have on your shoulders to have that pressure and learn how to play with it. But we need to do it collectively. I think with this team, we don't have that guy. We need a 5-man unit going when we hit the ice. And defensively, we did a great job in St. Cloud. We didn't generate the amount of offense that we needed. Our power play struggled a little bit. In the zone, it's good. Gaining the zone is still an area. And once again, we have young guys that didn't bring the puck up last year and put in those situations. And those are all of our learning moments.
Luke Johnston scored from Tanner Donahue. That might be a combination we hear a lot of the next couple of years, because these are a couple of the young guys that are capable of putting some points on the board for you and getting involved in that offense.
Yeah, those two guys have played a lot of hockey. They've played a lot of high-level fall hockey, so definitely guys we need to lean on. They played a ton of minutes as freshmen last year, so they need to bring that experience. But just because they were in some of those spots, they're in a little different role this year as well. So it's things that they need to continue to grow in their game, and then bring the other players along with them.
I want to talk for a minute about Holden Stenstrom, too. Your goalie, you mentioned the Minneapolis game where you were shut out 4-0. He saw like 56 shots that night, and hey, giving up 4 goals and 56 shots, that's not bad. So you stopped 52 of them, did a nice job, but he was in net for you, that game against St. Cloud, too. But I was just thinking that the goaltending, of course, hockey defensively, you start from the net out, obviously, right? And the goalie has to be, consistent. And what are Holden's qualities, Mike, that you think will make him not only successful at the varsity level, but consistent game to game, no matter who's putting the puck on the net?
Well, he's just worked so hard. I think over the last 2 years, you look at the time and dedication that he's put in to becoming the good goaltender that he is. He comes to practice. He's been going to extra goalie trainings on Sundays. It should be a day off. Sometimes the coach, let your mind heal, let your body heal a little bit. But, he puts that time and energy in, and being able to do it yourself is one thing, but he spent time the whole summer helping train our youth goalies. So when you put yourself on the other side of the puck, where now you're trying to train and coach and teach these younger goalies some of the things that he's done, it gives you a good reflection on what works, what doesn't work, and you can kind of see that game through a different lens. And I think that's really helped develop his game this year as well.
Yeah, nice to have that strong line of defense there in net. You talked about losing a lot of your goal scorers from last year, a lot of your guys that got a lot of points for you. Well, maybe we saw a little sign here the other night against River Lakes that you've got a few guys that can fill that void that was created, because you had a couple of guys have 3-point nights, multiple goals from Brant Sherman, 3-point night from, I think, Caden Zender had a 3-point night, and Brody Cryan had a 3-point night. Some things are starting to kind of develop out there offensively.
Yeah, and that's great to see. I talked about needing to have 5-man units out there trying to to generate some offense. You talk about Brandt, one of our captains, along with Holden. He's such a emotional leader out there. He plays that game with fire. He plays that game hard. He plays it the right way, and the guys sure see what he brings to that ice, and to see him, his first goal was a power play goal. That was huge for us to help get us. It gave us a 2-0 lead at that point, and just gave us a ton of energy. And then his another goal was very timely. So being able to do that, and then he defended well, and you got Brody. Didn't score a goal his whole sophomore year. He played a lot of games for us, a lot of minutes, a lot of crucial times for us, and for him to watch him get his first one. And those that know Brody, he's not a over emotional kind of guy. He's pretty calm and collected, and to see that smile and excitement from him to finally put one across the goal line, and it creates excitement for the whole team. Those kids just love it when their teammates can get a first goal. That's such a milestone for every kid, and always so exciting for them. And then you mentioned Caden Zender. He plays the game hard. He's one of our motors this year, creating some things. He's played a strong physical game. He's played a gritty game, and he's one of our more skilled guys that we need to fill one of those roles, and he's sure developing into that as well.
His power play goal gave you a 3-goal lead. It was a situation where it's 3-1. And, that next goal can be pretty important. You can do some damage. You get a 3-goal lead in the third period, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on the opposing team. How did that one get set up?
The puck just ended up in the corner, and Brody did a good job. He found an open seam right in the slot area, and it was a great pass from low to high with him. And he just did a good job finding open ice, finding an area that try to tell the kids, find the quiet area. A lot of them want to hurry up and rush to the puck. Well, if you can find a quiet area, we watch film, and a lot of our guys, and it's normal with high school kids, they're puck watchers. They like to see where the puck is, and the puck carrier isn't the dangerous guy. It's the other guys on the ice when they can find those areas of the ice, and that's what Brody did, and we made a great pass to him, and he was able to capitalize, and like you say, it was a big goal at that point.
Yeah, and I think I said Caden, but it's Brody. Getting your guys confused already here, What's the number?
It must be that age thing, because I'm doing it too, Craig.
Oh, boy, that's making it easier to know I have company. But you've got a busy week ahead here. You go to Brainerd Tuesday, and then DL Thursday, and then New Ulm coming in on Saturday afternoon, so you're going to get some good tests this week. Yeah,
we are, and it's a busy week. Sometimes it's good to get in a routine. Like last week, you look at being able to improve your game. We can come out. We had 2 practices since Thursday's game, so we practiced yesterday. Give the guys the weekend off. With the 2 games last week, it's late. We know 3 games coming up. We got to take care of their bodies and their minds, and there's a lot of sickness going around anyways, so anything we can do to help bodies recover and be ready to go for a stretch up to Christmas break here. So we'll have another good practice. We have a few things to look at, some details, I think, and see if we've changed the lineup a little bit going into the game with River Lakes. We kind of liked what it looked like, but there's some things that I think we need to look at some more film and see if, hey, do we want to continue with that lineup moving forward? And we like the depth that we have this year. There's a lot of younger guys that are pushing and continue to push guys in practice, and that gives us some hard decisions to make as coaches, and that's what coaches like, and we feel that we can insert some guys and get some different looks here throughout the season.
December, the first month of the winter season, sometimes is just a blur. Like you said, it just kind of hits you head on, and before you know it, it's Christmas, and then you're after Christmas, and you're into the new year, and it's like, whoa, what just happened in December? Because it just comes at you from every direction.
Yeah, it does. Especially, I know Coach Johnson mentioned the late Thanksgiving, so then you're into December, and then you're 2-game weeks or 3-game weeks, and then all of a sudden with a long Christmas break coming up, and it's going to go fast, and then next thing you know, you're into the dog days of January, February.
Yeah, and you're halfway through the season. Just happens so fast. Okay, Mike, what is going on with Minneapolis hockey? I mean, why do we have how many schools, 5, 6 schools making one team? What happened to all the great Minneapolis teams and the Twin Cities hockey?
Yeah, as well as you just look at demographics and how things I think have changed. And Minneapolis is one team. St. Paul has one team with the exception of South St. Paul. And like you talk about a lot of those great players that came out of Minneapolis. Probably Reed Larson is probably the biggest one, biggest Minneapolis guy. And I know working camps with all the older guys that have been there with Tom Younghands and Mike Kanoki and some of these guys that are other Minneapolis guys. But Reed Larson is the one that they all just marvel and talk about. And, you know, it's just the changing of the guard, I guess. People move out of the city, they move to suburbs. And, you know, the other good thing is they had a sophomore that was really good. And you see that they're still creating some high-skill players down there. And they have a new coach this year, and I thought he did a great job. Their style, those kids went, and they worked hard and played hard and did everything that they needed to do to get better. And they certainly made our hockey team better. And those are the kind of games you want in your schedule.
Yeah. Just weird to see one Minneapolis team, Minneapolis Hockey Club. Did they even have a nickname, a team nickname?
It was Minneapolis Hockey. Just
yeah,
it was like Washington football had and the Utah had for a little bit.
Right,
but maybe they'll evolve into one. But I don't know. It's a little nostalgic having a club.
I guess that's true. That's true. All right, Coach. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have fun this week. 2 home opportunities, fans, to see the Otters Thursday and Saturday. Saturday afternoon, 1:30 for varsity, I believe.
Correct.
Yeah. Running Stitches would like you to wear their hat, KBRF hat here. So Running Stitches Embroidery, they do great work. One of our great sponsors. So.
All right. I know they did all our hockey swag this year. I think that's the term. So we're really happy with the work that they did over there as well.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. Mike Donahue, did you get your deer, by the way?
No deer.
What?
The Sunshot one. That's way better anyways.
There you go. All right. You've had enough through the years, right? Yeah. All right. All right. We'll be back. We're going to continue our coaches show. Josh Steer is here next, the girls basketball coach at Fergus Falls. They're off to a 3-0 start. We'll find out how they're doing that after the break as the coaches show presented by the Viking Cafe continues.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
The 2025 model year closeout pricing has arrived at Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls. They have just a handful of new 2025 Chevy and Buick vehicles remaining, and all of them are at their lowest prices of the year. From the Chevy Blazer to the Buick Enclave, you won't want to miss out on these great deals. Contact the sales team for more information.
Minnesota Motor.
South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Lake Region Healthcare knows what all coaches know. It takes tons of teamwork, great amounts of grit, and heaps of hustle to triumph. Lake Region Healthcare, supporting and celebrating our high school athletes.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls is proud to sponsor area athletics. Nelson Auto knows the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls.
Running Stitches Embroidery in Fergus Falls is West Central Minnesota's leader in high-quality screen printing and custom embroidery. Whether you're looking for a one-of-a-kind custom job or need to outfit the entire team, Running Stitches Embroidery will be there when you need them.
What's your number?
I drove 60 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota. I drove 45 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
Welcome back to the program. Say, don't forget, you have about half an hour to do your text thing. Text Viking to 321-1926, okay? 321-1926. You will be eligible to win a $25 gift certificate from the Viking Cafe. It's what they do every week. So, Josh Steers here. That's a good deal.
It would seem silly not to. If you're listening, I don't know why you wouldn't text.
I'm surprised you didn't take your phone out.
Yeah, I probably will on my way home. Right before I get in the car, right before I get in the pickup.
Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, the bacon's really good. I had a good bacon and French toast this morning.
Yeah, I
That's-
saw that. Yeah,
You're going to have to
we
have
had,
that.
We had what was it, biscuits and gravy last week. So
There you go.
it's all good.
I just told the gal when I picked it up this morning, I never know what we're going to get, but it's kind of like Christmas every Saturday. You know, just open it up and see what it is. It's always good. All right, Josh, you're 3-0.
That's good.
That's how you like to start, right?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's been a good start to the year, and the fun part is we haven't played our best basketball yet.
There you go.
So, and nor should we have to because it's only December here.
Serve notice to your upcoming opponents that hey, their best is yet to come, folks. So this past week, Otters won against Sartell 55-46, and then won again against Detroit Lakes 55-42. That was just last night. Sartell, they've been pretty good in recent years. Are they one of the most competitive teams in the conference this year, or where do they fall into line?
Yeah, I think that they're going to be in the top half. When you look at the section, especially, you've got Wilmer and us and Sartell and Little Falls and DL probably up there in the top 4 to 5. You're looking at those competitive spots, and then in the section too. I think Sartell is. I don't think they have a win on the record yet, but they are probably one of the scariest winless teams out there. And when we looked at this week, we knew going in, maybe player-wise, they had graduated some pieces, kind of a little bit younger on both Sartell and DL, but both very well-coached programs, and both of those coaches in those programs get their kids to play really hard, and they defend really well. So, and I think we saw that in both of the games.
Let's talk about that win over Sartell, because Hattie Fullhart had a double-double for you, but you had 3 players in double figures, and then Hattie, the next game against DL, she only had 6 points.
Right.
So is that going to be kind of a story for this team? You're going to have different people stepping up, leading you every game?
Yeah, I think we can. I think we can be kind of even across the board most nights. But yeah, when Hattie maybe wasn't things weren't clicking offensively for her on Friday night or last night, Ruby picked it up, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, when we have 3 girls in double figures, good things are going to happen because we know that our defense is going to be stellar enough to try to hold teams in the 40s. Below that, if we can. Right now, I think we're giving up 49 points a game. So when you do that, you're going to give yourselves a chance every single night to at least be competitive. And the last couple games have been a little tighter than the first one with Moorhead, but we're giving ourselves chances on the defensive end, and by doing that, offensively things will come. But yeah, I think on the offensive side, we're going to see different girls score. Between Hattie and Ruby, we kind of lean on them, and Carly at times to lead us in the scoring category. And there's going to be other girls that step up and contribute too. Presley Warren has been right in the mix there with flirting with double figures if she doesn't get there. And other girls are just knocking down some timely shots too. So I think it's going to be kind of by committee, and we're still trying to get our feet under us with rotations and minutes. Sure. And I know some of the girls, maybe they're frustrated, maybe they're not, but it's a learning experience for us as coaches too to try to figure out early on, who's going to have the night, and you bet a little bit and gamble on who's going to be on and who's ready for the game and stuff like that. So we're still learning.
Sure. Yeah, you will be. We have to have this conversation in February. You'll still be
right. Absolutely. It's a process, and it's a long one. And I tell the girls every day, you got to love the process. You got to love the journey, because it's a grind. And we're only on game 3 of a guaranteed 27. With a playoff game.
Yep.
So there's a lot of basketball to be played, and we have a big stretch here coming up before Christmas.
Right. Yeah, Hattie that night had 15 points and 11 rebounds to lead you. And then Carly had 15 points, 8 rebounds. Is rebounding going to be a strength on this team, Josh? I mean, you got some girls that are pretty, I think, intense out there and aggressive. Are they pretty strong rebounders?
Yeah, when you mix our length and our athleticism with a couple of these girls' mentalities and where their mindset is, it's a pretty good combination. So when you've got Hattie Fullhart, who loves to rebound and has the skill set to do it, and you have Carly Hurst, who has that same mentality or a similar mentality and loves to do it. And then last night, Ruby Olson rebounded really, really well too. So when we can do that, and then when you look at who's rebounding, and all three of those girls, or whatever other girl it is that's rebounded for us, whether it's Presley or Reese or whatever, they can bring the ball up the court too. So we got to get out and transition our offense maybe a little bit quicker because of that. I think some old habits tell us we got to find the point guard and we got to give it to the true one on the floor. But really, in all actuality, we can just grab the rebound and go because we've got 5 guards on the floor most nights. How nice is that? Because there are some years where you don't have many ball handlers, or you are looking for that 1 or 2 people who you have confidence to bring the ball up. But when you've got 4 or 5 that, hey, like you said, just get out and run, and that's a lot easier as a coach, isn't it? Right. Yeah. If you can transition your offense without having to pass the ball off and take time to do that, you just transition that much quicker. Last night, Ruby had quite a shooting night for you, wound up with 28 points, but she was on fire from the 3-point line. Yeah, and, she's a kid that when you watch her shot, it's a pure shot. Like, it looks good every single time it leaves her hand. And she's one of those kids that, the first couple games probably didn't go as she planned. The shots weren't going down. She was getting a little frustrated. It's been pretty physical to start the year. So you could tell she was a little frustrated. And in practice on Thursday night, I kind of looked at her and I said, I got a good feeling about tomorrow night. And man, I must have had a feeling, and I don't know what she ate, but she just kind of went off. And, they started the game in a 2-3 zone. We knew that they would. And so we're kind of prepped for that. And we got into a little bit of a routine, and we got a couple of little continuity sets that get us attacking the zone off the dribble, and then we kick it to a shooter, and we found Ruby, and she knocked him down. And then they got out of the zone and they went man, and they still found a way to lose her on the floor. And when she has time, she has her feet down, it's going to go in more often than not. So I'm really glad that she finally broke through and had the game that she's very capable of doing. 8 for 15 on threes, 10 for 20 overall. Is Ruby's game to a point where, if obviously 3-point shooting is a strength, but is she also improving, or has she improved on her penetration game, both on the baseline and from the wing? Yeah, absolutely. I think about the Sartell game, and there was a couple of she got the ball on the wing, and instead of spotting up and shooting it or looking to just pass it, she grabs it and she rips it baseline. And she finished one, and I think she maybe got fouled on another one, and that's another element that you have to guard. So now, not only do you have to guard me on the 3-point line and tightly on the 3-point line, well, now if you're going to guard me tight on the 3-point line, I'm going to rip it past you and get to the rim. So she can do that, and as the night went on last night too, I think we did a better job of attacking the rim late, and then kicking it when that you draw that second defender. Now you got to kick the ball to the open girl, and then we can create more advantage off of that, because it's like a power play in hockey. You want to create a 3-on-4 or a 4-on-3, I suppose, on the backside. So when the ball can draw a second defender, then you get that advantage, and then you want to keep that advantage rolling. But last night, a lot of times when we created advantage, we kicked it to Ruby Olson and she knocked it down. Yeah. You mentioned Presley Warren getting better and better. She had 9 points last night. Reese Keel had 3 assists for you last night, and I know Reese had some injury situations earlier this year, but those are 2 newcomers to the varsity as far as extended playing time, who could be big pieces for you. Yeah, and it's so fun to watch them learn and grow. Like last night, there was a play that happened right in front of me. In the second half, Presley catches the ball on the wing. We're trying to run just a ball screen action, and she uses the ball screen and ends up in a turnover. And we had just talked in the timeout about, we can refuse that ball screen and just drive baseline. And so we go down on defense, and there's a foul. So I said, Presley, come here. I said, we're going to run that same play. No matter what happens, I said, I want you to go baseline. So she catches the ball, and DL did a nice job defending us. They push us out. She catches the ball probably 24, 25 feet away from the rim. And she just goes. And she's such an athlete that she gets to the rim, she finishes it, and it's an and one. And it's kind of like, oh, all right, yeah, I can do that. And it's like, yes, you can do that. So have confidence in that. And Reese, I think, figured some things out as the game went on too about how we got to be strong with the basketball, and you can't throw kind of that maybe pass. It's got to be a strong one every time, and those things are going to happen throughout the course of a season, throughout the course of a game, where you have learning opportunities. And as a team, I look at us and I see how many turnovers we've had through the first 3 games, and we have to clean that up because you can't give teams extra possessions. So last night, I think we only had 15 or 16 turnovers, which for us, only 15 or 16 turnovers, that's still not great, but better than 20. Yep. So we're trending in the right direction there, and sure we'll have our hands full when Jamestown comes to town.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Jamestown. Have we ever played Jamestown? I don't know.
Never played Jamestown. We had a late drop, and we kind of just threw out some feelers to some people that needed to add a game. And it was, I don't know if it was back in September or August, but it was pretty late. And we found out Jamestown needed a game, and we needed a home game, and they said they'd come to us, and we said okay. So. They just started their season. They just had their first game of the year last night in Grand Forks playing Central, and I watched it on film a little bit on the bus ride home. And I think they're going to be a solid team, and it's kind of fun because you don't know anything about them, and they don't know anything about you, and you go in there kind of blind, and you'll execute your stuff, and it'll probably work a little bit better. Like DL, they knew some of our sets last night, and it's only game 3 because they're well coached. So. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be a fun game, and I think Jamestown's going to be pretty good.
And we're glad they're coming here.
Yes.
Absolutely. And Thursday you go to Alexandria. Here we go with the Cardinals.
Yes, not a section game this year, but a conference game.
Right.
So that's a big one because it's a 4A school, and if anybody knows anything about the QRF, those games matter, and we also have a rivalry with Alexandria, so you always want to beat Alexandria. And we have an opportunity to do that this year. They're still solid. They graduated 4 of their 5 starters, but they're still Alexandria.
Yep, right.
They have a ton of kids to choose from, and they're going to be solid, and they're going to play solid, and we're going to have to take care of the basketball. And we're going to have to rebound and do what we do early on in the season.
All that stuff you have to do every night.
Yeah, and right now, I forgot to tell you, Ruby Olson had a double-double last night. When I got the official stats back, she had 13 rebounds. Plus 28 points. Yes. So, we've had a girl in a double-double every game this year, and that's something you don't see very often, let alone in the first 3 games of the year.
And we love that double-double stuff in the media. It's just fun to say, double-double.
Double-double.
Yeah. Triple-double would be fun, too.
We might see that by the end of the year, but we got to get the assists going. Hopefully it's not in turnovers.
No, we don't want that kind of a triple-double, no. All right, Josh, thanks so much for coming in this morning. Awesome. Nice start, 3-0.
Yep, let's keep it rolling.
You bet.
Thanks, Craig.
Josh Steer, head coach of the Otter girls basketball team. Girls hockey up next. Isaac Vatnsdal is here. Don't go away as our coaches show presented by the Viking Cafe continues after this break.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
The 2025 model year closeout pricing has arrived at Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls. They have just a handful of new 2025 Chevy and Buick vehicles remaining, and all of them are at their lowest prices of the year. From the Chevy Blazer to the Buick Enclave, you won't want to miss out on these great deals. Contact the sales team for more information.
Minnesota Motor.
South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Lake Region Healthcare knows what all coaches know. It takes tons of teamwork, great amounts of grit, and heaps of hustle to triumph. Lake Region Healthcare, supporting and celebrating our high school athletes.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls is proud to sponsor area athletics. Nelson Auto knows the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls.
Running Stitches Embroidery in Fergus Falls is West Central Minnesota's leader in high-quality screen printing and custom embroidery. Whether you're looking for a one-of-a-kind custom job or need to outfit the entire team, Running Stitches Embroidery will be there when you need them.
What's your number?
I drove 60 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota. I drove 45 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
Hey, we're back. Welcome back to the show. Randy Hansen's here. We're doing a quick switch up here. I told you Isaac Vatnsdal was here. I should have looked. He's not.
Yeah, I know he's not up there, so I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
We'll freeze the pool and call that hockey, maybe. I don't know.
Hey, pool hockey.
Right, there you go.
You might be onto something
Right,
there.
might be, yeah.
Throw some boards around the. I don't know about that,
probably
Randy.
not, yeah.
Big day today.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah, you
About
got
time.
the Tom Uvis Invitational.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's, last week was pretty funky with, we had a snow day in there or a cancel practice day because weather was not good. And then we had Thanksgiving and we had people, out of town on family stuff. And so it was just kind of a mess for a lot of reasons. But it was good to get back. And this week has been pretty steady and pretty good and pretty routine, which is great. And the guys are ready to go. We're pretty excited.
Well, a lot of people are excited about your team and the prospects that this year holds because, how often does it happen, Coach? By the way, I haven't properly introduced him. Randy Hansen is the head coach of the Otter Boys Swimming and Diving Team. Otter Invitational, Tom Uvis Invitational today at the pool. But how often is it that you look at your returning team and everybody's coming back?
Yeah, we're sitting pretty good. We feel pretty good about ourselves. Our numbers are not super high, but they haven't been. But we're pretty steady with teams around here. DL and has about the same, and Princeton's coming to town. They have about the same, so we're pretty good. But our top guys are right in there. We've got a number of guys that placed at the state meet, and Reese medaled. So we've got some firepower up top. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, and I would think, their expectations for themselves definitely are high after that experience last year, and for you as coaches as well. And I would think you're not going to run into any team this year that isn't aware of what they're up against, and you're probably going to get the best shot from everybody.
Yeah, I would suspect, and as far as expectations that they have, that really started with the summer. They really put in a lot of work in the summer. It's club teams and in the weight room and things. And so they've really changed a lot and grown a lot, which is awesome. But as far as other records and things, they've got the 400 free relay record has been up there since, it was Cal Moritzen and a few others, so it's been up there for a while. I think Luke Reitz is on that as well. So it's been up there for a while, and it's legitimately in striking distance. Not today, although I wouldn't say no, but this season for sure. So that's that. They know what they have to swim to get that, and that's when I had them set goals this year at the beginning here. That all four of them are like, got to break that record. Got to want to see that one go down. So that's a big motivating factor, and then just getting on the podium, and which is again legitimate for all of those guys. And and there's a couple other pool records and school records. I know Matthew's been eyeing that for that 500 free school record. That's very well within striking distance, and and so we'll see what happens. We all start today.
So when you have an experienced team like this and a team that's already had a large measure of success in their sport, how does that change, if at all, what you do as a coach as far as a preparation for practices for the entire season? Does it change what you do?
Yeah, we know what we can push them harder. They're all juniors and seniors now, that core group. And I guess Lucas Toole is part of that too, and he's a freshman, but he's not a freshman as far as swimming experience. And in fact, if anybody's grown more this year, just in stroke mechanics and just look in the water and then actual physical look, it's Lucas. He's just really matured as a swimmer and matured physically, so it's going to be fun to see him just rip it up today. But all of those guys, I don't want to say we can take the kids' gloves off because that's not really the right way to say it, but we know we can push them harder.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, that was nice. You got to do this one faster and better. And we probably couldn't have done that a couple of years ago. So, because they didn't have the confidence, they didn't have the skill, and now they have that, and they're just going to push each other and just, every time we have a really hard set, they're just going to be on each other. Just, you got to hit this. And we'll have goal times up we're going to do this set at that time. And we did that earlier this week. We put some really aggressive goal times up there, and they were just mad at themselves that they didn't get it, and we had to kind of talk them off the ledge a little bit. So it's like, it's okay. We were overly aggressive on purpose just to see what happens, and so you got to like that fire in those guys, and that trickles down to the younger guys too. And the sophomores and freshmen and things. I mean, they see those guys working hard, and so then that ups their game as well.
So when you have a group like this, and again, all the experience and success, who are your main leaders out there? Do you have 2 or 3 guys that you look to as coach and say, these are our captains, or is it a whole group of kids?
Yeah, I mean, the captains are the guys we had last year. So Landon Vadava, Matthew Toole, and Reese Hansen. But, I think any of those guys that went to state are leaders. Lucas doesn't say a whole lot, but he's a leader in the pool. And that, trickles down to the younger guys, I can't say enough good things about Zach Johnson. I mean, he's a junior and doesn't get the accolades and doesn't get his name in the paper, but he's taken those younger guys under his wing, and he's in one of those lanes, and he's like, all right, we're doing this, and this is how this works. I mean, he's just a true leader in that respect. So not a C in a captain sense, but is a captain of that. And you need guys like that, those glue guys that can hold the team together. And so I really appreciate his work and efforts and things. And, and Anders Trosvik is another sophomore too that, he's like, all right, we're going to do this, and he's matured through our program as well. And so, again, not a captain, but he's a leader of those guys as well. And so, so I guess we have captains and names, but we got a lot of the guys that are leaders as well. Yeah.
So when it comes to lineups with this team, do you just make a lineup like the start of the season and every meet, make a photocopy and say, here's our lineup? Or are you going to try to move people around a little?
Yeah, that gets really boring.
Right.
If we feel like we have a really good chance to win, we'll put our A lineup together. We've got guys that we know what they'll swim. So like our A lineup, Matthew will swim the 2 and the 5. Landon will probably be in the 2 and maybe the 100 or the 5. We know what A relays, are probably going to be there. So, Reese will be in the 100 fly and 100 back. That's our A lineup for those guys. Strandy will be in the 100 breast. If it's a team like we swim Sartell here next week, we'll see what that looks like. We might move some guys around. They're a little bit deeper and bigger than us, but they're in our section now, and so we want to give our guys a shot to swim against their top guys, because we'll see them again at True Team and at section. So, it really just depends on the meet, but you got to have variety. If you're going to the meet all the time, swimming the same thing, that gets really that's boring. It's boring for coaches too. So, and then sometimes they surprise themselves. Like we'll put them in an event. I tell them, we never put you in an event we don't think you can't do. It doesn't mean it won't be easy, but we will never put you in something that you absolutely can't do. But sometimes they'll swim something and like, that wasn't too bad, and that was a pretty good time. And all right, let's see what we got there. So we've learned a few things about guys over the years doing that. And today, I let them pick some things. We got some 50 events, some weird things like that. So like there's a 50 back and a 50 breast, which is not normal for a meet. So I let the guys kind of pick some things, and I put relays and stuff together. So I mean, you got to have a little bit of variety, and if you don't, it's just it's too long of a season to not.
You mentioned relays. Do you do experimenting with your relay combinations throughout the season, or are you kind of in the back of your mind knowing what you're going to go into, the postseason with relay-wise?
Well, I mean, you kind of think like what we had last year, those relays that went to state are pretty well set. But I told them yesterday when we were doing practice exchanges, I'm like, nothing is ever really set. So like that 400 free relay is, Landon, Reese, Matthew, and Jaden. But Lucas Toole he can make a play for something like that. And Ethan Strandy, he swims the event before, so probably wouldn't be in that event because it's just way too much back to back, and we don't need him to do that. But there might be an event, a day in a meet where he's not swimming the breast, and then we'll put him in that event. So we tried to mix up some of that stuff, but you never really know. So like our medley relay too. Depending on how it goes, I mean, it's always been the last year was Reese in backstroke, then Ethan in breaststroke, then Lucas in butterfly, and then Jaden Kapinski in freestyle. Well, Lucas has got a really good backstroke, and Reese has got a pretty darn good fly, so we could flip them and see what that looks like. So I mean, there'll be some moving and tweaking and things, but. For today, we're going with the straight A lineup like we had last year, and we'll see where that puts us.
So what do fans need to know about today, Randy? What's the schedule of events and what's going on at the pool?
Yeah, so diving is going to start at 11. In fact, divers are going to start showing up at 9:30, so they get some board work. Diving is one of those things that's nice to get it out of the way early if you can. There's only 6 divers. There's 6 teams coming to the event, and there's only 6 total divers, and 3 of the teams don't have divers, including us. So that's it's kind of a epidemic across the state with boys diving. It just isn't as popular as it once was. But so anyway, we got diving at 11. That'll wrap up by noon. Warm-ups at noon. Swimming at 1. It'll go to 3:30, 4 o'clock, and some fun different events. We have a 100 IM, which we don't usually do, and a 200 IM, which is normal. 150 fly and 100 fly. So we've always added some extra stuff, which is great because, we get some of those younger kids that aren't quite ready to do some of those bigger things and do something different. And some of the older guys like to do some of the shorter ones too, just for fun and stuff. And we have medals, and there's a trophy that's made out of cupcakes and stuff. So it's a good meet to start out with. And my only, it's not really regret, but it's not my fault, but the namesake won't be at the meet today. So Coach Uvis decided to go to the Green Bay Packer game tomorrow, and so he is in Wisconsin going to the Packer. I know, that's what I saw. He did say he really wishes he would be here instead, but I'm not really sure if that's true. I mean, go to a Packer game would be all right.
Well,
but,
Packers Bears.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So anyway, so he won't be there, but I know he'll be eager to see how the results shake out.
Yeah, if he were here, he would be there.
Yeah,
There's no doubt about that. He's a guy, and I know you're in the same mode kind of here, but I saw Coach Uvis get so excited, not only for kids getting to state or winning a race, but finishing a 25-yard swim for the first time.
Yeah.
I think he genuinely gets as excited then as he does about anything that a kid does in the pool.
Yeah, and I told the whole team, I said, I'm excited if you win. That's great, of course. But, I mean, if you get PRs, I mean, and even if you're not going to win, that makes me happy. And we got a couple guys that are pretty young and pretty inexperienced. And we got a couple new guys that and our middle schoolers that they're going to do some races today, and if they finish successfully, that's going to be really good. So
absolutely, what a fun experience for them. And of course, it's the last Otter invite for your seniors. So
3 seniors this year. So Landon Vadava, Matthew Toole, Reese Hansen. So no seniors last year, which is kind of unique. So we just kind of reloaded and off we go. But I mean, it's, we're not going to do the farewell tour on everything, but I know they kind of talked about, this is the last one of this.
Right.
And that's fine. I mean, you should think about that, but that can't be the focus. No. You've got way too many other things you got to worry about.
You alluded to the section earlier. A little different look in the section this year.
Yeah, we got a lot of different stuff. Even in the conference, too, is kind of messed up. Not messed up, but it's changed a lot. Yep. So, our section, Alexander moved up to AA. They were always on the edge. They were the biggest Class A school for a couple years, so they've moved up to AA. And then Sartell and Sauk Rapids have moved in. Sauk Rapids had a really strong team last year that lost a lot of guys, so they're not quite as strong. But they're well coached, and we'll see what how they shake out. But Sartell is, I almost feel like the Alec leaving and Sartell coming in is like a wash almost. I mean, not quite, but they're really good, really deep, and so they would be the favorite, I think, in the sections. I think we're in the top 3. Melrose Sauk Center lost a lot of their top firepower too, but they've got depth, and they both Sartell and Melrose have divers, so that hurts us. So we're in the top 3 conversation, and we can definitely challenge for those top spots, but we're going to need those points from those top guys and then people to fill in behind, for sure. Yeah.
And I know you have a pretty familiar coaching staff.
Yeah, we're still, the band's still back together, yep. So Jason Zozel's back coaching another year. His son Micah has been gone now for a couple years, but he's really been instrumental in helping those guys, and they really he resonates with them a lot. So that's really good, and he's just really watches a lot of videos and comes up with sets and things, and we should do this. And so it's just nice to have a good experienced swimming mind to go through things. And then Ender Kowalski, has been a Fergus Otter forever, and he's coaching the middle school guys, and he's going to take some of those younger guys, or some of our freshmen and things that need a little bit more experience. He's going to take some of them under his wing and things, but you can't do it without them, and we don't have a diving coach because we don't have divers, but it's as it is, and so it's good. We're a good group.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy today,
Thank
and
you.
good luck the rest of the way. Long season. It's one of the longest.
Yep.
But
Until next week, and then we'll see what happens.
Running Stitches would like to present you with that hat.
Cool. Thank you.
You never have enough hats, right?
No, never. Of course
All right.
not. Yeah. All right. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Randy.
Yeah, thank you.
Randy Hansen, head coach of the Otter Boys swimming and diving team. The Otter Invite, the Tom Uvis Invitational, going on today at the Kennedy Secondary School pool. You've got, this is the last chance for you to text Viking to 321-1926. 321-1926. And then we will find out who wins that $25 gift certificate from the Viking. More to come as our Coaches Show continues after this timeout presented by the Viking Cafe.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
The 2025 model year closeout pricing has arrived at Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls. They have just a handful of new 2025 Chevy and Buick vehicles remaining, and all of them are at their lowest prices of the year. From the Chevy Blazer to the Buick Enclave, you won't want to miss out on these great deals. Contact the sales team for more information.
Minnesota, Minnesota Motor.
South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Lake Region Healthcare knows what all coaches know. It takes tons of teamwork, great amounts of grit, and heaps of hustle to triumph. Lake Region Healthcare, supporting and celebrating our high school athletes.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls is proud to sponsor area athletics. Nelson Auto knows the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls.
Running Stitches Embroidery in Fergus Falls is West Central Minnesota's leader in high-quality screen printing and custom embroidery. Whether you're looking for a one-of-a-kind custom job or need to outfit the entire team, Running Stitches Embroidery will be there when you need them.
What's your number?
I drove 60 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota. I drove 45 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
Welcome back to the show, and congratulations to Richard Ackerman, who is the winner of our $25 Viking Cafe gift certificate. Thank you for texting in, Richard, and to all of you who texted in. We'll do it again next week for a chance for you to win that $25 gift certificate from the Viking Cafe. They serve up breakfast for the coaches every Saturday morning, and today we had French toast and bacon. Yeah, that was good. Good stuff. So any meal of the day, you can't go wrong with the Viking Cafe in downtown Fergus Falls. They've been serving up Otter fans since 1969, I think it is. Doing that from memory. My memory lately has been kind of, questionable at best. But, hey, we've got a busy week. We are just all over the map with coverage. We're doing a lot of video streaming of games and radio coverage of games for Fergus Falls and Hillcrest and Battle Lake and Underwood and Ashby and Rothsay. We're doing also some Henning games on the radio in West Central area. So we're all over the place. You'll see our crew out there, I'm sure, and they do a great job. And I know last night I was having fun going back and forth between the video streams that we had on last night, and just a great way to promote the kids and competing in high school athletics. Fun time of the year. Wintertime is a really busy time of the year. We cover about 180 games a year on our 4 stations, and now adding the video stream quite intensely this year. Most of the games are also on video stream now, and that's just going to get better and better, I'm sure. So we're looking forward to a busy winter season. The Spartan basketball teams are up north this weekend. They have a Friday-Saturday situation against Minnesota North College teams at Itasca and Vermilion and Hibbing, kind of a combination of teams there. Last night, the ladies won over Itasca, and the men lost by 4 to Hibbing. So they're playing again today at Rainy River up in International Falls as they continue that weekend trip. And getting into January and February is when we do our coverage, radio coverage of the Spartans, and that will be when the divisional play begins, and we'll have 7 home games for both the men and the women's teams coming up in those 2 months. So I have had some questions about how much Spartan basketball we're going to be doing, and that's the answer. 7 home conference games for both the men and the women in January and February. So be sure to be watching for that, and we'll be covering it on 977 FM once again this season. We've done that for the past several years, actually. So, yeah, going to be a fun time to cover the Spartans also. What a run last year for Dave Cressup and his guys. Well, we'll take a final time out here, and when we come back, we will have Donovan Rogness. I'm crossing my fingers. I think Donnie's going to be here when we get back with Hillcrest Comet boys basketball. If not, you'll have to listen to me, and I threatened to do some baseball talk. If necessary, I can do that. But we'll see how it goes. We'll talk some Hillcrest boys basketball. I'm pretty confident on the other side of the break. This is the Coaches Show presented by the Viking Cafe.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
The 2025 model year closeout pricing has arrived at Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls. They have just a handful of new 2025 Chevy and Buick vehicles remaining, and all of them are at their lowest prices of the year. From the Chevy Blazer to the Buick Enclave, you won't want to miss out on these great deals. Contact the sales team for more information.
Minnesota, Minnesota Motor.
South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Lake Region Healthcare knows what all coaches know. It takes tons of teamwork, great amounts of grit, and heaps of hustle to triumph. Lake Region Healthcare, supporting and celebrating our high school athletes.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls is proud to sponsor area athletics. Nelson Auto knows the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls.
Running Stitches Embroidery in Fergus Falls is West Central Minnesota's leader in high-quality screen printing and custom embroidery. Whether you're looking for a one-of-a-kind custom job or need to outfit the entire team, Running Stitches Embroidery will be there when you need them.
What's your number?
I drove 60 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota. I drove 45 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
Hey, welcome back to the show. This is our final segment of the show this week. Donovan Rogness is here, head coach of the Hillcrest boys basketball team. He's also coaching some other teams on the side, right?
This morning, the backcourt tournament started. So, yeah, I had to coach some third grade basketball this morning.
I've got to go there, Donovan, since I brought it up when we were just chatting. You came through that backcourt program, and you had some guys coaching you who are pretty familiar names in this area.
Yeah, no, a lot of memories in backcourt. And we were just talking about, I got to have Brian Draxton and Myron Brusman and Mark Levang give me a lot of instruction growing up. So I'm super thankful for the time that they put in for me. And that's one reason why I love being able to put time in for other kids, because those are important.
Yeah, that's awesome. And now here you are coaching with Brian's daughter, Hannah, who coaches the girls
That's
at
right.
Hillcrest. So
That's right.
Yeah, comes full circle here, I guess.
Good community sticks together.
Oh, that is for sure. And our basketball community has done that. I think the backcourt club, my wife and I came to town in 1981, and I think it was pretty new back then. It was like in its first or second year, and Bob Yorkland was one of the guys that kind of got it going back then. And I think Norm Newell was involved back then, and Norm's kind of involved still today at a lot of levels. So a lot of people that have helped out in that position.
Yeah.
Well, you got the high school boys basketball season rolling. Won your first game against Underwood, 69-53 the other night, and everyone I look at that's in the Little Lake Conference, and I ask them who's the favorite, they're saying Hillcrest, Hillcrest. So how do you like that being labeled the favorite, Donovan?
Well, I mean, we did win the conference last year, thankfully, and we have 7 returning seniors. So I kind of puts the target on our back a little bit. But our guys are they're ready for a challenge, and we even going into the Underwood game, we don't consider ourselves the favorite. I went in just a little bit nervous. Kellen he brings a defensive intensity, and he brings athleticism and grit and all the stuff that he brings to his squad. And our guys were kind of coming fresh off a football season, so I wasn't sure, are we going to get a basketball team? Are we going to get a football team? Like, who are we going to be? But we were able to hold it together.
Yeah, a great football season, and I was going to go there next. And you were, this is kind of interesting. The parallel is interesting to me because you were a part of really successful football teams at Hillcrest that turned out to be really successful basketball teams also. So
Yeah.
does it kind of go hand in hand most times when you have the number of players who are involved in both sports, where if you're successful in the fall, it's going to happen in the winter?
I would say that there's got to be a correlation between the two. So especially in Class A basketball, when
Right.
you're a good athlete, like you can shine. I think the bigger the classes get, the more competitive and skill savvy kids are getting. But when you think of Class A basketball, yeah, a lot of guys would say, "Oh, coach, your season's going to start off slow and all that." And I said, the experience that our guys are getting on the football field, those guys that are out
Yep.
there, like that is so important to their character development and their leadership development. And that is going to directly translate to our basketball season for sure. And so happy. And I told the guys, I'm so happy that you guys had the season you had. I'm so happy we got to start 2 weeks late.
Yeah.
For your sake. Like
Exactly.
it's great.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is a great thing. Talk about the way the game unfolded the other night, because first half was, it's the first half of the season, 25-16 at halftime. And then boom, 44 points in the second half. So what changed there at halftime, or was it just getting your feet wet out there and in a new sport?
Yeah. First games are always just a little ugly. And our first half was proving that, and I think same with Underwood is their first game too. Just they got the jitters of getting out there, you got the excitement, the anticipation. You've been waiting for this for a long time. So I think that once we hit that halftime mark and we were able to get to the locker room and just decompress for a few minutes, talk strategy as a team, what are our goals, what do we need to improve on, where do we need to go, and then we just came out with just a relaxed mentality. And I think that's who we are. Our guys are very carefree and love to play with each other and for each other. And the first half, I think we were just tight just because it was the first half.
Yeah.
But I think we kind of changed that for the second half.
And it helps when you shoot the ball well.
That is always a plus, right? That always helps.
Yeah, Dave Retzoff always tells me I'm a much better coach when my players make their shots.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to start using that one too.
Yeah, it's true. Well, speaking of that, Kean Stender, what a night. Hit 8 threes for you. Is that kind of his MO, or was that kind of a surprise?
Kean has a really, really nice shot. And he's, I've been watching his progression over the years. Someone told me that he was going to make 8 threes his first game. I don't know if I would have believed that, but after last night, I mean, he just had a lot of confidence. Our goal in offense is that we tell our players that if you're open, your job as a good teammate is to shoot the ball.
Yep.
We want to score the basket. And we've also got on the backside of that, we've got rebounders that want to go after it. So our percentage of getting an offensive board off a missed three is where we want it to be. So because we go get the boards, we give everyone the freedom to shoot, and Kean took advantage of that in full.
Yeah, 29 points. That's a nice start to the season. Hard to maintain that.
Yeah.
Obviously.
We'll see what he can do. Yeah.
But yeah, maybe that's his season high from the first game. Maybe not. Who knows? There may be more in him. But
yeah.
You mentioned the rebounding. And in this game, Ethan Swedberg had 15 boards. Sean Berge had 12 boards for you. What is going to make this team a good rebounding team overall? And is it a team that you're going to see, all 5 spots on the floor being involved in the rebounding game?
You know, rebounding is one of the major things that we stress in practice. I just think games can change so much with second chance opportunities, whether it's us getting our second chance or preventing the other team from getting their second chance. So we do a lot of not rebound specific drills, but tallying rebounds during the drills to make the guys aware that they need to finish every drill with a rebound. And so I think that the more we continue to rip that in practice, the more it gets trained, and then it becomes more just natural. So we rebounding is definitely a stat that we watch because I think it shows how hard you want to continue to play through a possession. So
Yeah, and it's not always about height, is it? In the rebounding game.
No, it really isn't. It's about anticipating where the ball is going to go. So most of the time when you shoot a shot, it goes opposite of the shot. So we talk and teach that, and then it's just about grit, like who wants to go after it, because there's it's seldom the big man that's always getting the boards in high school basketball. It's just a lot of long rebounds, and so that's open to anybody.
A lot of heart in rebounding too.
Yeah, for sure.
So you have a good group of seniors. How does that change what you do as a coaching staff when you have that experienced group that has had some success?
Well, I think that definitely helped us coming into the season, starting 2 weeks late. So our guys already had the camaraderie of who they are. They just have to remember that a little bit. But, it gives us the ability to fine tune earlier in the season than to reboot earlier in the season. And so I'm thankful for that. Our guys kind of know who they are on defense and on offense, and they're so athletic, and we can just work on the tweaks as opposed to like reteaching. So that benefits us a ton. And then just their leadership and their composure that they have during games, and not getting all riled up and losing that when things go unexpectedly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The other thing I was thinking about with your group, and again, a long football season, physical football season, how many games do they wind up playing? 12, 13?
Oh, yeah. Well,
more than that.
More than that, yeah.
8, right around there, 13, 14,
probably,
yeah.
30, yeah.
So that's a physical game, obviously. Does that play into how you kind of use your rotation early on in the season especially? Do you want to work some more people into the early season games to kind of help their bodies heal up a little bit?
Yeah, well, we gave our guys some time off after the football season to recoup, and then I just asked them individually, like, how you feeling? Like Griffin House is banged up still a little bit, so he didn't play the first game, and he might need some time off, and that's okay. Basketball is such a long season, right? And we look at our month of December, and we don't play that many games, maybe 6 games, 7, whatever, and then January, then it hits, right? And so if they need some more time to heal up, then that's great. But you're right, this is a great opportunity for some of our underclassmen to get some minutes, because when we look at the long term, we have 7 seniors.
Yep.
They're all gone next year. So I need to make sure that our younger guys get time, and so we're really, as a coaching staff, talking through that.
Right.
Strategic.
And then in basketball too, 18-minute halves, so you get 36 minutes of competition and only 5 guys on the floor.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get playing time for everybody, on your varsity roster every game. It's not going to happen, unfortunately, just the way the game is made. But the way basketball is played these days too, the Comets, I don't know how many games last year went to a running time situation or gave you a big lead at the end, which enabled you to do a few more things personnel-wise. Will you be quick to make lineup changes in games like that, for the dual purpose of getting the experience for the young guys and getting the rest for the veteran guys that need it?
I would say that I would rather the games that our younger classmen get valuable minutes during the heart of the game than at the end of the game. And so I don't think I don't have any strategic plan of working the young guys in at end of games. As a coaching staff, we're trying to figure out how do we get these guys 4 minutes or 8 minutes during the heart of the game with their senior leaders to be able to get that mentorship, live game play during that time when they can feel the pressure a little bit more than towards the end of the game when they know they got a 20-point lead and it just is a different feel. So But to save on bodies, if we do get leads at games, if we're fortunate enough to be in that situation, yeah, we'll give our guys give them some rest.
Defensively,
Yeah.
What type of a team are we going to see from the Comets?
I heard a quote that we're going to adapt this year is that we're not going to wait for a team to break us down. We desire to break them down. And so when we play defense, our goal for the year is to really frustrate teams. Like we're just going to be an aggressive team. We're going to start a lot of half court stuff, and we're just going to really hone in on taking care of the guy that we're assigned to. And then when we are a couple passes away, make sure that we help if we need to. But we plan to be in a very aggressive defense this year.
Okay.
Because we have the athletes to do it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. How many guys do you have on your varsity roster? What are you carrying there?
We have 7 seniors, then we have 4 underclassmen, so we'll have 11.
Okay. And that's a manageable number there.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yep.
How about practices? Are you pretty competitive in the practices? You go at it pretty hard?
We definitely try to, just because our guys are also natural competitors. They love competing with each other in a super healthy way, and we're thankful for that. So yeah, we'll do a lot of small-sided games, but then we'll get into a lot of full court 5-on-5 and go at each other a little bit, and making sure that we stay competitive, because when you compete, you get better. If we don't compete and we just take it easy during practice, that'll show there in games. And these guys they've got young bodies. They heal up and recoup way faster than us old people do. So.
Boy, and you think you're old. Just wait.
Right when I said that, I was like, I wonder what comment Greg's going to make right after that one.
What about the conference? You know, I like I said, everybody I read or talk to says Hillcrest's a favorite. Well, who are the teams that you look at from Hillcrest's perspective that are the biggest challengers to you defending that title?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, Hancock's off to a great start. Rotze's scoring a lot of points. We had a tough game with Underwood that could go a different direction the next time we play them. Yeah, I mean, we just don't take anybody very lightly. We're going to take every game we play as like these guys are gunning us. So we're going to get their best. So I think from a mental standpoint, it's really every conference game we have to have that mentality, because everyone's going to bring their best against us, and we expect that, and we're going to be ready for that.
Bring it on, right?
Bring it on. It's basketball. Let's play.
Got to have that attitude, kind of.
Yeah.
You know, when you got that target on your back, okay.
Yeah.
Give us your best shot, right?
Yeah.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ada Borup this week, Friday night. Cougars usually are pretty competitive.
Yeah, I haven't watched them yet this year. It looks like they're off to an 0-2 start. Obviously well coached. I know they lost some seniors from last year. We got to play them, unfortunately, in playoffs and lost to them. But I don't know my scouting report on them yet, but they're an athletic, competitive team. So we're going to prepare for them as best we can. And it's only going to be our second game, and I don't know if they're going to have 3 or 4 under their belt, so they'll have a little bit on us in that round. But at least it's a home game, and we love playing in front of our home.
And having all week to prepare is okay right now, given everything we've talked about, just coming off the football season. And
yeah, and that's what worked out so well too, is that if we would have had 2 to 3 games a week to start the season, we wouldn't have had any time to really implement and talk strategy and get people up to speed. And so yeah, we've got 4 days of practice next week. So we're going to be prepared as we can be.
You bet. Mm-hmm. So tell me about your coaching staff. Who's working with you?
Yeah, same staff as last year. So grateful for them. Sam Nash is my lead assistant. He just does a great job of coming alongside of me and asking me what all the little things that I need. He just wants to fill in. Andy Stender does our JV program. He's been doing that for years. Kids love him. He's just does a great job of bringing a smile and fun to the game. And then Nate Selvig is in his second year coaching the C squad and does a great job. He's just got a demeanor that is constant and steady, and the kids feel that. And he just loves to teach and be in the gym. So and then we have a couple volunteers that help too. So thankful for my staff. I would be lost without them. And you know, I'm only in my second year of doing this, but I just feel very comfortable having people that just want to help. And so
a little different being the head coach, isn't it?
Oh man, I've told so many people, like, as an assistant, you can show up to practice and you're like, okay, what are we doing today? And now I find myself like pondering all day long. What am I going to do? Like, it's just very different, but it's great.
Well, and then you have to deal with guys in the media and, all kinds of things.
Yeah,
I
they're
mean,
pretty easy going though.
Sure. I have a hat for you from Running Stitches Embroidery.
Oh, I've heard of those guys. I like them.
Yeah.
It's great.
So they like you too, obviously, giving you a hat.
Yeah, this is
Can
great.
never have enough hats.
And we have plenty of them, and we love them. It's
All
great.
right.
Yeah.
Donovan, thanks so much. Good luck to the Comets. Enjoy this team. This season will be a special one for you.
Thank you. And Greg, thank you for all you do to support local athletics. This is a lot of fun to be able to do this. So.
That's awesome to have you in. Donovan Rogness, he's the head coach of the Hillcrest boys basketball team. That'll do it for our show today. Congratulations to Richard Ackerman, the winner of the $25 gift certificate from the Viking Cafe, who present the Coaches Show every Saturday. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for joining us for the Newstalk 1250 KBRF Coaches Show, presented by the Viking Cafe and brought to you by the Minnesota Motor Company, Lake Region Healthcare, Nelson Auto Center, Quality Toyota, and Running Stitches.